Welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Creature of Havoc by Steve Jackson. At the end of the last part, I was on paragraph 122. I'll just read it again as a recap. You follow the passage eastwards, peering ahead as the glowstones flick on to light your way. Eventually you arrive at 2 doors, and you listen for any clues as to what may be beyond. No noise comes from behind the door in the north wall, but there are definite sounds coming from behind the door in the east wall. A heavy breathing is unmistakable and is interrupted by loud snorts. This sounds ominous. If you wish to try the door in the north wall, turn to 154. If instead you decide to charge the door in the east wall, turn to 263. Okay, we're going to try the door in the north wall. So we're going to turn to 154. The door is locked. It may be... Let me start again. The door is locked. It may be possible to break it down, but you could damage your shoulder as the timbers are heavy. If you wish to try breaking the door, turn to 396. If instead you would prefer to try the door in the east wall, turn to 263. Okay, we're going to break down the door, or at least try to break down the door. Turn to 396. The door cracks as you charge it, and eventually you break into the room, but not before you take 1 stamina point of damage for a sore shoulder. Let's do that now. Puts us down to 15. Lovely. Or not so lovely. The room inside has no occupants. Instead, a single desk is surrounded on 3 sides by racks of parchments, each rolled up neatly and tied with string. A door in the east wall is half hidden behind the untidy racks. Do you want to head out through this door, turn to 365, or will you pick up a parchment and see what it says? Turn to 100. Okay, we're going to see what the parchments say, or parchment says. Turn to 100. Here we go. The rolls of parchment are meaningless to you. You step up to the desk and grab one which is open, but as you touch it, a loud noise startles you. You wheel round, and your eyes widen as you see a hideous beast taking shape in the corner, materializing out of thin air. It is taller and bulkier than you, and its rough skin looks to be made not out of living flesh, but out of the rock itself. Its huge fists are covered in irregular bumps, and its eyes glare at you in fury from its wide-mouthed face. The rock demon you are facing takes a step towards you, and you must quickly decide what to do. The creature looks much more powerful than you are. Will you battle the demon, turn to 327, or will you escape from the room? If you choose to escape, you may head either for the door in the east wall, turn to 365, or the door in the south wall, through which you entered, turn to 450. And there he is, all lovely. Looks a bit like King Kong. Actually, you remember that video, that famous video of the Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever? I can't remember the name of it. The one where he's sort of looking behind as he walks away. The one that's been quote unquote debunked, but you know, there's always that chance it was real. I have seen a video that states that the arms could never be that long or something like that, but it's probably a bloke in a suit. Anyway, it looks a bit like that, except nastier. Anyway, so we're going to battle the demon, turn to 327. As the demon advances, you stand your ground and prepare to attack. When it is almost upon you, you swing your fist into its chest. Your fist passes right through. You swing again, and the same thing happens. You step forward into the creature and thrash with both hands. Your hands touch nothing, but your foot comes down on a small, soft object which seems to try to pull away, but quickly goes still. As this happens, the huge shape of the rock demon fades. You lift your foot to reveal a dead mouse upon which the illusion spell had been cast. You are still unsure of what has happened, but the danger has now passed, and you may either return your attention to the parchment, turn to 192, or leave the room. If you decide to leave, you may use either the door in the south wall through which you entered, turn to 450, or the door in the east wall, turn to 365. Okay, we're going to return our attentions to the parchment, 192. Feel sorry for the mouse. Once more you pick up the parchment and stare at it. The writing is not neat, but you can just about make out the following message. Okay, it's in that code which thankfully is already decoded or deciphered on the instructions I'm using. Okay, it apparently reads, Biography of Zed Mar, page 93. Thus came Mar to abandon the physical world and take refuge in his own, a strange netherworld which occupies no space in the world we mortals know, a world of illusion in which he appears to be, he is not. Wait a minute, let me read that again. A world of illusion in which where he appears to be, he is not. Oh, I see. And a world in which those searching for him would instead find themselves. He has but one weakness in his new world, and that is a crystal club which may be used to destroy forever the gateway between our world and his! Exclamation mark. Okay, brilliant. There's more. If at some time in the future you believe you have located the entrance to Mars' netherworld, deduct the page number above from the reference you are on at the time and turn to this reference. If you are correct, you will meet the necromancer. For having the good fortune to find this parchment, you may restore your luck score to its initial level. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Good. And that's that. So what do I need to do? Deduct the page number from the reference you are on at the time. Deduct the page number above. The page number above. So what's the page number? It doesn't really say. It just says. So deduct 192. So deduct 192 from the reference you're on. Right, okay. I'll put that in information. Deduct 192 from reference when I find Mars. No. Entrance to Mars netherworld. Okay. Page number above. There we go. Right, okay. I'll put that under information. Right. Just information. It is your flesh we wish to experience, not just skill at bargaining. Right. Whoops, go. I don't want to sign into Foxit. Go away. Yes, I use a thing called Foxit Reader because it was free. It has annoying things like that and adverts in it, which I can't seem to turn off. Anyway, and some weird things happen sometimes. Okay, we're going to leave through the door on the south wall. So turn to 450. You leave the room and find yourself once more in the east-west passageway from which you entered. You remember the noises you heard behind the door ahead to the east, but there is no other way forward. The door is locked, so you must once again charge it. Turn to 263. Unlike other game books where we have to find the key, this time we're charging doors. The door shudders. I'll start again. The door shudders under your charge, but does not open. Lose 1 stamina point. Okay, let's do that. Down to 14 now. You try again, and this time the bolt is torn from the frame. The door flies open and you step into the room, ready for the creature inside. The room itself has a door in each wall. Scattered around one corner is an untidy pile of bones. In another corner is a half-eaten human carcass. Standing over the carcass, and evidently annoyed that its meal has been disturbed, is a bulky creature with a hairy face, razor-sharp teeth, and wild eyes. As you enter, it turns to attack, and you must resolve your battle with the Manic Beast. Manic Beast, Skill 7, Stamina 8. Okay, let's put that in. Here's one I prepared earlier, as they used to say on Blue Peter. Right. Okay, what are the weird rules of this one? The Manic Beast is so called for its tremendous bursts of rage. Each time you inflict a wound on the Manic Beast, its anger will rise for the next attack round, and you must add 2 to the dice roll when it rolls for attack strength. If you wound it again during this next attack round, pardon me, I don't know why I was about to say attack wound. If you wound it again, oh yeah, because it said wound earlier. If you wound it again during this next attack round, it will retain the bonus for the next round, but I don't know why round is capitalized there. But if you do not, its temper returns to normal and the bonus is lost. If you defeat the Manic Beast, 10 to 209. Let's have a look at him. Not as nasty as the other one, but the other one was an illusion. And there's a human hand. Lovely. It's eating a human. What a lovely thing. Yuck. Ugh. Right. Okay, so pretty much how this works is, from what I can surmise, is that if you hurt it, the next attack round it gets +2 to its attack strength. But if you, on that attack round, if you keep on hurting it, it carries on getting the +2. But if you don't, either if you get a draw or if it hurts you, then it loses its bonus of 2 for the next attack round. Okay, so let's do this. So we're rolling for it first. Its skill is 7, mine is 11. Let's go. Okay, 8 plus 7 is 15. 11 plus 7 is 18, so 15 to 18. That means I win, and that means next time it gets a +2 to its attack strength. Okay, it gets a 3, that's 10, plus 2 is 12, and I get 18, so 12 to 18, but the bonus carries over. And I just realised I've hurt it twice now, but I haven't actually taken the things off there. It's down to 4 now. Okay, so it still has a +2. It gets 6, that's 13, plus 2 is 15, and I get 11, that's 22. So 15 to 22. So it still gets its bonus, but I've hurt it again. It's on its last legs now. Hopefully finally, I hope it's finally, not hopefully, because hopefully means to do something in a hopeful manner. Or yes, like you can look at something hopefully. You know, you can't say hopefully I'll do it, because that's not what hopefully means. Hopefully means to do something in a hopeful way. You can't use it like thankfully or something like that. You hopefully doesn't mean that. Anyway, so it gets 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 2 is 16. And I get 20. 16 to 20, that means I win despite its bonus. Good. Oh, I didn't check if I got a double, did I? It doesn't matter, it's done now. Done now. I always forget that. Right. Okay, that's the end of Manic Beast. Let's get rid of the buzzing because it's tremendously irritating. There we go. If you defeat the Manic Beast, 10 to 209. I did. Let's have one last look at him. Haha, you're dead. You can't eat a corpse anymore. 209. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm thinking about my next video series after this one. Possibly will be Ease the Vanished Omens on the Sega Master System. A game I used to call Wise, but it's apparently not called Wise, it's apparently pronounced Ease. Ease the Vanished Omens. It's another RPG on the Master System. So, yeah, I'll have to practice at it first. Look forward to that. I haven't done there's a few more Master System RPGs I haven't done. Ease is one of them. Ultima 4 is another one. Miracle Warriors is another one. Any more? don't know, I can't remember, but yeah, so look forward to that one. Anyway, 209. You may, if you wish, regain your strength by waiting for a few moments in the room before continuing. You can pass the time by feasting on either of the dead creatures. Which looks the tastiest, the manic beast, 10 to 231, or the human carcass, 10 to 249? Or will you ignore the food, quote unquote, it's dead, they're dead bodies, they're not food. Or will you ignore the food and, well, they're not food by my standards anyway. Or will you ignore the food and simply leave the room, 10 to 293? Okay, yeah, we're going to eat the human carcass, 10 to 249, yuck, ugh. Few things more revolting than cannibalism, although technically it's not cannibalism because the character I'm playing is not a human, but the idea of eating a human is cannibalism to me, so it's still disgusting. You tuck into your meat. It's not a nice word, but you're using that word to eat a human. It's like tucking into your meal. It's like a fish and chips or something. I'm tucking in. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that. Where was I? Oh yeah. You tuck into your meal. The meat is rather tough, as it is no doubt several days old. But while you are eating, something catches your attention. Tied around the human's waist, you find a small leather pouch which contains 2 gold pieces. You may take these with you, and you gain 4 stamina points from the meal. Okay, so we have 2 gold pieces. I'll put that in gold. 2. And 4 stamina points, so 18. There we go. Your attention is also captured by 2 glass flasks lying by the side of the unfortunate human. Though they have been battered in the struggle, they are not broken, and each contains a coloured liquid. If you would like to drink the green liquid, 10 to 318. If you would prefer to drink the blue liquid, 10 to 350. If you wish to drink neither, you may continue by turning to 293. Okay, we are going to... we're going to drink the green liquid. So 10 to 318. I'm not going to touch the blue stuff because it's nasty. You put the bottle to your mouth and gulp down the liquid. Almost immediately you begin to feel strength flowing through your body. You have discovered and drunk a potion of strength, and it takes effect quickly. You may restore your stamina to its initial level. Now continue by turning to 293. Okay, so eating the human was pointless because we just did all that. Alright, so we're up to 21 again. Good. Alright, now continue by turning to 293, okay? You leave the room through a door in the east wall. The door opens into a dingy corridor. Nearly said dingy. A dingy corridor, which is quite short and ends at a wooden door. When you listen at the door, you can hear conversation rising and falling in pitch, as if 2 or 3 creatures or humans were locked into a long discussion. Humans are a type of creature. This is your only way onwards. Will you try the door and attempt to creep slowly into the room, 10 to 276, or will you attempt to surprise whatever is inside by charging into the room with claws drawn, 10 to 66? We're going to, my instructions just say to creep or charge into the room, so clearly it doesn't matter. I'm going to creep, because I'm a bit of a creep myself. 276. At least that's what the women tell me. I'm a creep. Anyway, you carefully try the door. It creaks on its hinges, bizarrely, using, or rather saying to women that I read fighting fantasy books from the 80s isn't a very good chat-up line. I know you're tremendously shocked by that revelation, but it doesn't really please women learning that fact about me. Anyway, 276. You carefully try the door. It creaks on its hinges but opens easily, allowing you into the room. You are ready for the creatures inside and hope to surprise them. But when you enter, it is you who are surprised at what you see. I like how they've said it is you who are surprised. I hate it when people say it is you who is surprised. No, because you takes are, not is. It's like saying it is I who is sorry. No, it's I who am sorry, because it's I am. Oh, they did it on Star Trek Next Generation one time. Worf said, "It is I who is something or something." I said, "No, it is I who am." Really irritating. And another reason why I detest Worf, because every time Worf says anything, it's always something to do with honor or dishonor or being a Klingon warrior, and it's just shut up. Oh, anyway, but when you enter, it is you who are surprised at what you see. Turn to 161. Yeah, Worf is the worst thing about Star Trek Next Generation. That and Councillor Troy. And the worst thing about Deep Space Nine is Deep Space Nine. They made it worse. In my opinion, it's bad already. They added Worf to it. Anyway, I mean, at least add someone decent to it, like, I don't know, Data. Anyway, oh no, 161 isn't here. Just a sec, I'll see if I can work out what happens. Sorry about that. That took ages to find where I was supposed to be. Anyway, I was supposed to go to paragraph 161, but of course that's not in this PDF for some random reason, because the idiot who scanned it forgot to scan that page. Anyway, so yeah, what happens is that I believe on paragraph 161, one of the options is to investigate the room further. So we went into the room by creeping, and then paragraph 161 asked if we wanted to investigate the room further. We said yes to that. In theory, because the paragraph isn't there, and then that led us to here, paragraph 104. Okay, so here we are. You glance from arch to arch, trying to decide whether to investigate them. The stillness is unnerving. Whatever happened to the voices you heard? As if in answer to your question, a sound drifts out from one of the alcoves. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. He says, over here. Come over here if you want to learn of great riches in these parts. Do not understand the human tongue? Perhaps then you speak the troll language. Okay, and the rest is undecipherable. Then he says, what about this? Is that better? Ah, yes, I can tell you understand me. Look, I can help you. Maybe you would like me to direct you to a tasty morsel. 2 fat hobbits, or shall I tell you about... he said he who knows when they mean him. No, it shouldn't be he who knows, because the object is him who knows. That's the... it shouldn't be about he who knows, it should be about him who knows. I shall tell you about him who knows all your secrets. I speak, of course, of Zaradan Mar. Come talk to me. Yeah, because you should always have the object after the preposition which is about, so it should be him after about. It doesn't matter that the next clause is who knows all your secrets. That doesn't matter. That doesn't change the pronoun. The pronoun should be him, not he, because it comes after about. So tell you about him who knows all your secrets. Anyway, I speak, of course, of Zaradan Mar. Come, talk to me. You are stunned to silence by the voice speaking to you in your own tongue. It is inviting you towards one of the arches. Will you enter and speak to the being within, or are you suspicious of this strange voice? If you enter the arch and talk to the owner of the voice, turn to 323. If you wish to leave, turn to 405. Okay, we're going to enter the arch and talk to the owner of the voice. Turn to 323. You are intrigued with the voice and find yourself strangely attracted to it. It guides you towards one of the central arches in the east wall. Come closer, so I may speak to you in private. No, not that arch, this one. That's right, have no fear. I will tell you of the all-knowing one and tell you where you will find some juicy hobbits. Just a little further. It is so long since I have enjoyed company, and I do so love to find out what happens in the outside world. You pass through the arch and look around. When your eyes have adjusted to the light, you can see that you are standing in a short tunnel which ends several paces ahead in a dead end. There are no glowstones, but a glistening sheen covers the ceiling. At the end of the short passage is a shape which you can just make out. It appears to be a human sitting on the floor and leaning against the wall, a tattered cowl over its head. A leather flagon stands at its feet. Come closer, says the voice. My hearing is not good. Can I offer you a drink? Will you approach the figure, 10 to 439, or will you try another arch, 10 to 220? We're going to try another arch. There's the figure himself, I think. Yeah, that's the flagon, isn't it? Whatever a flagon is. Some sort of cup. Yeah, we're going to try another arch, 10 to 220. You are suspicious of this mysterious figure. You back out of the arch and poke your head into the one next to it. This one is also dark, but from somewhere in the darkness you can see a faint glittering, as if tiny raindrops are sparkling as they fall. You cautiously step in to investigate. You reach a pile of rubble lying on the ground. Stones are scattered about as if from a wall which has recently collapsed. You could easily cross the rubble and make for the twinkling lights. While you are considering whether or not to do so, a crash is followed by a shower of dust as a rock falls from the ceiling. Will you climb through regardless to investigate the glittering lights, 10 to 56, or will you leave this alcove and try another, 10 to 85? We're going to climb through and investigate, 10 to 56. You climb through the hole in the wall and hold your breath as you step through the cloud of settling dust. The area is not much deeper, and when you reach its end you discover what the glittering is. From high in the ceiling a powdery trickle of elven dust is falling through the air. It drops gracefully down from the ceiling, glittering as it falls, but by the time it reaches the ground it has disappeared. The magical dust is showering you as you stand looking up at it, though you can feel nothing. Elven dust is a magical powder which is an essential ingredient in white elven magic. Though its effects may remain a mystery to you in the immediate future, you may well wonder about the significance of your find. Someone has been trying to wall the elven dust in. Why? Eventually you decide to leave the recess and the chamber. 10 to 405. Okay, so we've been sprinkled with elven dust. Better write that down, actually. We have been sprinkled with elven. Should elven be capitalized? I'm going to say no. Elven dust. Because it's a type of creature, so it's an adjective. It's like saying porcine for pig. I mean, you wouldn't capitalize porcine, would you? So. Okay, so 405. You may leave by one of the 3 doors leading from the room. Which will you choose? The door in the north wall, 10 to 300. The door in the west wall, 10 to 393. The door in the south wall, 10 to 6. Okay, we're going to go through the door in the north wall, 10 to 300. That's 299. The door opens into a narrow passageway heading north, and glowstones flick on to light your way. Unlike the other passageways along which you have been travelling, this one has a cobbled floor. The cobblestones feel smooth and pleasant for your great feet to walk on, but you cannot ignore a feeling of apprehension, since the stones must have been laid by an organised and intelligent creature. You follow the passage for a short while until suddenly a loud clang sounds behind you and stops you dead in your tracks. You wheel round to find that a heavy portcullis has dropped behind you and sealed off the passage. You step back to test it, but the bars are much too strong for you to smash or even bend. You have no choice. You turn round and continue north up the corridor. It's very similar to Warlock of Firetop Mountain when you enter the maze of Zagor, the portcullis comes down. You can tell it's written by the same person. Obviously, a similar idea has come through from that book. A little further ahead, you reach a crossroads. The glowstones light up 3 ways onwards, but you cannot see very far down the passages. Will you continue northwards, 10 to 443? Try the passage to the east, 10 to 50. Try the passage to the west, 10 to 213. Any more options? No. Okay, so where are we going? Passage to the west, 213. Oh, missed it. You reach a dead end. The light is dim and it is difficult to see, so you grope around for a possible way onwards. There is none to be found. You turn round and retreat to the crossroads. Will you now continue north, 10 to 443, or east, 10 to 50? Okay, apparently, and this isn't my fault, apparently there is a printing error. We're supposed to use the pendant. So 20 plus 230. So we're supposed to use the pendant. Yeah, we're supposed to add 20, not deduct 20. We're supposed to add 20 from paragraph number if it starts with "you cannot see a thing." So this says, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, add 20 to paragraph number if it starts with "you find yourself." Oh, so it's not a print. Yeah, so it's supposed to say "you find yourself," but it doesn't. That's the printing error, yeah. So we're supposed to add 20 to this paragraph number and then go to 233. So it's a printing error. They didn't. It said to say that, to do that when we get a paragraph that says "you find yourself," and it doesn't even say that, but we need to do that here apparently. So it needs to go to. We need to find a secret door at 233. Add 20 to 239. So let's do that now. So really good job, Steve Jackson, for making this book even harder than it should be. While you are groping around the end of the passageway, you suddenly notice a slight humming coming from your pendant. It is vibrating, and as you move towards one particular spot, the vibration becomes stronger. You grasp the talisman and watch as the blue stone begins to glow. Finally, a beam of blue light shoots from the pendant and lights up an area of rocky wall. You feel around the area, and your hand comes to rest on a small hidden catch. When you flick the catch, the dead end before you comes to life. Smoke hisses from the crevices around the wall, forcing you to step away from it. When the smoke clears, a gap has appeared in the rock face. An eerie green light lights up a narrow passage beyond. Will you step through and explore the secret passage? If so, turn to 369. Or would you rather return to the crossroads and take either the way to the north, turn to 443, or the way to the east, turn to 50? Okay, we're going to explore the secret passageway, of course, so 369. You're also supposed to get a luck point for finding a secret door, but apparently it didn't say on the thing. It must have said on the paragraph. But we don't need that because we already have 11 luck. Yeah, brilliant. So let's just go. Let's just go to 369 now. This book is a bit of a mess, isn't it? Right. Not least because one of the pages is missing. Idiot! I mean, if you're going to go into the effort of scanning all these in, at least scan every page, for heaven's sake. You step into the passage and your eyes adjust to the green light. You breathe cautiously as you progress, but it seems that the smoke is not harmful, though it smells a little pungent. The passage leads, after only a few paces, to impenetrable blackness. Not even the green light is penetrating the darkness. Your eyes strain to see anything of the surroundings, but without success. Suddenly, a light flickers to your left. A small flame lights up something. It is a human face. The face is motionless and its eyes are closed. The skin is old and withered, and you cannot tell whether it is alive or dead. Another light flickers. Another somber face lights up before you, and another. Eventually, there are 4 faces, all dimly lit around the chamber. An instant later, their eyes and mouths flick open wide, and the silence is broken by a sharp voice which cuts through the darkness. The effect is terrifying, and it's saying something he's translating. Okay, the sharp voice says, "Your progress has been watched, foul creature of destruction. So far you have done well, though you know not why or what. But you have caused 2 of the vapours to be lost. Zaradan Mar himself has decreed your destiny. You shall remain in his dungeons and do my bidding, for I am Daramus, your master." Okay, so we found Daramus. If you can understand him, turn to reference 90. Is that what it said on the thing? Oh, right, no. Turn to reference 90, so let's go to 90 now. Your first... reference 90, yeah, that's 90. And then there's more. Your first order is this. Report for duty at the Yellowstone mines. Leave now and head there immediately. I will be watching. Turn to paragraph 90. Okay, so let's go to 90 now. Yeah, you growl defiantly at the voice. The 4 lights flicker and extinguish. Almost immediately, a background luminosity begins to light up the area, and you can see where you are. The room in which you are is large and appears to be quite important, judging by the rich drapes and gilt-framed paintings which hang on the walls. That should be that hang on the walls, yeah, because it's difficult to explain, but it shouldn't be which, it should be that. That hang on the walls. The scenes depicted in the paintings seem to be of hell itself. The 4 faces you saw are elaborate carvings in a soft clay-like material. Standing before you is a tall, gruesome creature dressed in a flowering black cape. 2 red eyes shine out from the depths of its hood. Daramus turns to speak to you. "You are a recent arrival in these dungeons," he says. "You are a fine specimen and are a credit to your creator, Zaradan Mar. Yes, this is so. You have been created by Mar and created for a purpose. Zaradan Mar and his physician, Quimel Bone, are obsessed with Maranga, the reformation of life. They continually experiment with the effects of potions and spells on creatures. Some they merely transform from one type into another. Others they create from preserved organs. Their experiments are not always successful, but when one does succeed, it is sent to me here for observation before its future is finally decided. A future has been decided for you, though I know not what it is. This is of no concern to me. But your immediate duty is my concern. Let me say that again. But your immediate duty is my concern. You must be put to work in the Yellowstone mines, but I will offer you one other alternative. If you do not wish to work in the mines until Mar calls for you, you may choose another future for yourself. Death." His final word turns into a chilling laugh which resounds around the room. You set your teeth and glare at the creature. You will not be ordered what to do. "I take it, then, that you choose my second alternative," he says, opening a book on the desk. He begins to read something from it aloud. "Will you step over and grab him by his neck?" Turn to 402. "Wait to see what happens next?" Turn to 286. "Or try to escape down the secret passage in the west wall?" Turn to 384. Okay. We're going to use the ring that we got, remember? So... Ring of Holy Blessing. When told to grab Daramus and do battle, add 50 to paragraph number and turn there. So we're on paragraph 90. So we're going to add 50 to that, which is 140, and then we're going to go to paragraph 140. You remember the words of the blind wizard Hanicus, and you hold up the silver ring before Daramus. "What is it? What sort of a gesture is The ring of holy blessing! Where did you get that? Give it to me, this instant! His sunken eyes narrow, and his gaze becomes fierce and pierces deep into your eyes. For a moment you feel him entering your will, and your hand extends the ring towards him. His hand reaches out to take it from you, but suddenly you manage to break out of your trance. You step over to the wall and crush the ring's large bulbous stone against it. The creature behind the desk shrieks as the stone shatters, and a sweet-smelling gas fills the air. Daramus steps back against the north wall and thumps a panel in the wall with his hand. Almost immediately the wall draws aside and reveals a secret passageway. He takes a step towards the passage, but it is too late. The perfumed aroma has entered his body. Daramus drops to his knees, clutching his throat. He topples over backwards and sprawls lifeless before you. You have killed the foul creature. You may now choose your next direction. Through one of two secret passageways. Would you head to the west, turn to 79, or the north, turn to 184? I'll just put used next to this. There we go. So where are we going? We're going to head north, 184. Oops, wrong way. Oh, nearly there. What's that? Looks like that hammer's coming out of his groin. If you notice, there's a hammer coming right out of his groin. 184. You are glad to be out of the room and away from the vile creature. You take long strides and follow the passage north. It turns to the west, and your nose twitches at the foul smell of sewage. A strong wooden bridge takes you across the stinking bilge water. You are forced to hold your breath as you cross, but on the other side you quickly leave the filthy river, and the passageway turns once more to the north. You arrive at a heavy door carved out of the rock which blocks the way onwards. As you are considering what to do, the door opens. A burly, dark-skinned human stands in the doorway. His face is badly scarred and one of his eyes is half closed. His lips curl back in a sneer which shows his few dirty teeth. Well, he asks, what is it? Has Daramus sent you? Have you permission to leave Mars dungeons? Come on, where's your tongue? Will you nod to let him know you have been allowed to leave by Daramus? Turn to 3. Will you play stupid and see what he does next? Turn to 169. Or will you grab him in your claws and do battle? Turn to 73. And we're going to nod to him to let him know we've been allowed to leave by Daramus. Turn to 3. Oops. Here we are. He eyes you suspiciously. Is that so? Well, no doubt he gave you the gesture too. Come on then. Let's have it. What will your gesture be? The sign of a cross, turn to 387. The sign of a circle, turn to 22. You make no gesture, turn to 437. Okay. We're going to make no gesture. 437. Yeah, it's a trick question. No gesture? Daramus gave you no gesture? The guard is incredulous. You shrug as if to say that you did not see Daramus. But Daramus is always in his chamber. Look, wait here for a moment. I must check his room. The guard grabs a club and rushes off down the passage, leaving you on your own. Will you keep your word and remain where you are until he returns, 10 to 38, or will you step into his room and look for a way out, 10 to 54? Okay, we're going to remain where we are until he returns, 10 to 38. Eventually the guard returns, panting. It seems you were right. He shrugs. There's no sign of him anywhere. Mind you, I can't let you through here. No one's allowed through without Daramus's permission. At least not unless certain special arrangements are made, if you understand my meaning. He looks at the pendant hanging round your neck. That's a handsome little piece, he says. Now I'm sure special arrangements could be made if you were to leave this behind. Just our, shall we say, bond to make sure you return, and mine to keep if you don't. If you wish to give him your pendant, he will let you through his guard room, but you may never again find secret passages without it. Make your choice. If you will pay his price, turn to 442. If this price is too high, the only way you are going to get through is by attacking him. Turn to 73. Okay, we're going to pay his price. We don't need the pendant anymore. 442. The guard draws a bunch of keys out of his pocket. I'll just say I don't have it anymore. I'll just say given away. Here we go. And I'll read this again. The guard draws a bunch of keys out of his pocket and opens the metal door to let you through. You grunt in thanks and begin climbing the steps. At the top you find yourself in a cold, stone-walled room with a large stone platform in its centre. Carvings and symbols decorate the platform, which is lit up by a beam of light from a crack in the ceiling. You edge around the room until you reach a door, which you shove open. The sight which greets you makes your eyes open wide. Space! You have escaped from the dungeon and have emerged into cool night air. Slowly you survey the landscape, your mind filled with wonder at the space all around. You appear to be standing in an open field in which stones have been fixed in regular rows. Some lie down flat on the ground and some are standing up. To your left, near the edge of this field, is a large building with a tall pointed roof. On the other side, to the right, is a wood, and a path leads straight into the wood from where you are now. Overhead, a huge white orb hangs in the sky, giving some light, but this light dwindles when great smoky masses drift across in front of it. You are overawed by your new environment. Would you like to investigate some of the stones set into the ground around you? Turn to 198. Would you like to look around the old building? Turn to 123. Or would you like to leave this area along the path into the woods? Okay, and that's all we have time for today. So I'll put in on 442, and we'll make our choice at the start of the next video. So 442. There we go. Okay, just put something in there. That's it, good. Okay, so in the next video we'll be deciding what we're going to do next. We're either going to investigate some of the stones set into the ground around you. They're obviously gravestones, because it said like some lie down flat, in which stones have been fixed in regular rows. It's a gravestone. It's a cemetery. Yeah, so investigate some of the stones set into the ground around you, or we're going to look around an old building, or leave the area and walk along a path into the woods. So we'll be deciding what we're going to do next video. So thanks for watching. Hope you can join me, and goodbye.